All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahar Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out there toiling in his truth. I'm Pathakamoth GMS Dallas, and I'm just coming back at you with a really quick hit lesson. I'm going to entitle this one, The Truth, or This Truth is Bringing Fear upon Esau, these Edomites, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, man. And it should, rightfully so, man, because this truth, being in the earth or coming into the earth in these latter days, these end times, signify the end, Esau's end, because like the scriptures say, which will, as a matter of fact, I'll just start it off with that. Let's get that real quick. In 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, the 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 9. And it reads, the 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, and it reads, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, and that's very clear and to the point, man. When you have understanding of the blessings in Genesis, the 27th chapter, which we'll get, as a matter of fact, really quick before I do that, let's just get this real quick in Hebrews, the 11th chapter. And verse 20, and it reads, Hebrews 11 and 20, by faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come, man. That's why, we just read 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter and verse 9, Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, because there were two blessings given when you read in Genesis, the 27th chapter, which we'll get. This is Genesis, and we'll just get to the point. This is Genesis 27 and verse 38, and I'll read down to verse 40. Genesis 27 and 38, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, because as he came up from hunting, Jacob, along with his mother, Rebecca, basically Yaiquabbed, which is what, supplanted, which is what Jacob means, Yaiquab in the Hebrew, which means to supplant, or supplanter, so, and that's exactly what they did. They supplanted the situation, and Jacob got the blessing of the kingdom of heaven, man, which Esau came up right at the end of that, and begging, man, and crying, as we just read, he wept, bless me, oh my father, bless me, even me, bless me. So he wanted a blessing. Verse 39, Genesis 27 and 39, and Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Which, of course, coming out of the, what they call the dark ages, going into the Renaissance period, when Esau was in chains for 1,000 years, or, bound up for 1,000 years in captivity, slavery, up under the Israelites, after that period of time, which represents the dark ages, they came back into power, man, which is known as the Renaissance period, man, and he ruled, this blessing we just read in verse 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. So the Lord is going to be with these people for a period of time, man. And, they were going to basically succeed, things were going to work for them. They was going to be successful at things that they did, basically everything they did, and they were going to rule by the sword, which that sword represents his military might and his weaponry. So he received that temporary carnal blessing, and we're still in that blessing to this very day, up until this very point in time, man. Which that blessing was given. Genesis 27, 38 through 40, which the same blessing, because we read in Hebrews 11 and 20, and Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. When you read up, I guess you could kind of start around verse 27, you know what I'm saying, going into Jacob's blessing. You know, this is, you know, when you start around about verse 27 and you read down, it'll go into Jacob's blessing, which when you get to verse 28, it reads the same thing that that we read for Esau's blessing. Genesis 27 and 28, therefore the Most High give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. But the only difference is, you know, Esau was going to rule with the sword, but this is what it says for Jacob. And plenty of corn and wine. Verse 29, let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. So that's the difference in the two blessings, man. You know what I'm saying? One is a temporary carnal blessing, which was the first blessing of Esau, where he was going to rule with his sword, his military might, his weaponry. And the other, which was going to have the same fatness of the earth and dew from heaven. You know, everything worked for Esau. You know, he had basically the inhabited earth, the total earth, inhabited earth, man, which is going to come to Jacob, man, which represents the Israelites, man. You know, and they're going to rule the entire earth. You know, as a matter of fact, when you read, you know, going back to the blessing of the inheritance of our big brother Yahushua, when you read in Psalms, the 2nd chapter, which is going to be in joint there. This is Psalms chapter 2 and verse 7. I would declare the decree, the Lord Yahweh hath said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. You know, going into our big brother Yahushua, our Lord and Savior, man, his only begotten son, whom he spoke into existence. Verse 8, ask of me. So this is what the Lord, the Most High Yahweh, is going to give to his son Yahushua. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for thy possession. Boom, there it is. So there were two blessings of the basically the uttermost part of the earth, you know, and possessing slaves, man, which was Jacob and Esau, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're in the first blessing now of Esau, man, you know. And now we're at the end of that blessing, you know, and he's afraid, man, because he knows, man, he knows what's coming. You know, these devils know what's coming next, man, you know, and it's why he's about to go balls to the wall. This dude is about to go all out. He ain't gonna hold no stops. Ain't gonna be no bars. You know what I'm saying? No bars, no stops, balls to the wall, all out, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you can read that in Revelations, the 12th chapter, and verse 12, and it reads, this is Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, man. Because that blessing that we just read in Genesis, the 27th chapter, is come to its end. You know, of course, we read 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter in verse 9. Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. You know what I'm saying? So this truth being in the earth, you know, has caused the remnant to return, and is why, and basically signifies the coming of the coming kingdom, you know, and is why these devils are so afraid, man. You know, hey, the dry bones, you know what I'm saying? That dry state of being that our people were in, being without this truth, without water, nourishment, you know, which what the knowledge represents, you know, Ephesians, the 5th chapter, you know, the washing of water by the word, you know what I'm saying? This word represents a water, man, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, us being in a, you know, for that period of time without it, you know, without this knowledge, without this word, you know, we became those dry bones, man, you know, that dry state of being, you know, to the point of that it was brittle, you know, that it is just, you know, basically going to powder or crack into many pieces. You know what I'm saying? That's how dry and brittle it was. Very brittle. That's the word. Brittle, you know, brittle bone. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, without nourishment, man. And that's why the Lord, matter of fact, let's get Ezekiel 37 real quick. That's why the Most High asked Ezekiel, Salakia, Can these bones live? As a matter of fact, we'll just start at the top. This is Ezekiel, Salakia. God dang, man. I'm distracted right now for some reason. Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. And at the top, it says the vision of the valley of the dry bones, which valley represents a low place, which America is a low place. It's a valley, the valley of the shadow of death, as it says in Psalms, the 23rd chapter, King David, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Ezekiel 37:1, going into that vision of the dry bones, the valley of the dry bones here in America, man. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, which is talking about right here in America, man. This is the valley that is full of bones, man, because you got the majority of the nation is here, both northern and kingdom. They were oppressed together right here in America, man. And we were here without that nourishment, man, without the scriptures, the knowledge of the Bible. Verse 2. And caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. Yeah, because we didn't have this knowledge, man, this truth, which is the water, the nourishment. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord God, power, thou knowest. So the Lord asked Ezekiel, can they live? Can these bones live? That proves that state that Jake was in, man, that they are into this very day, man, just out of there. They're so far gone that the Lord asked Ezekiel, can they even live? Can these bones live? Which Ezekiel was like, hey, thou knowest, you know what I'm saying? You tell me, you know what I'm saying? Can they live? And let's keep it going. Verse 4, again, he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, power unto these bones. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live again. Salakia, and ye shall live. So, that this is the Lord saying, telling these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Which that breath represents the knowledge, man. So that prophesying that's going out, which the men of the Lord are out here, prophesying, week in, week out, daily through these lessons, and it's starting to bring back to life the remnant or the elect of the nation of Israel, man. Because that's all the Lord is dealing with in these times, man. The remnant, the elect. He's not dealing with the whole entire nation, because when you read in Zechariah 13:8. They're already prophesied to be put to death. 2 parts shall be cut off and die, but the 1 part shall be brought through the fire. And when you read in Isaiah the 10th chapter, it goes into how the remnant, shall return, man, is going to return. The remnant represents the elect, man, So the dry bones are waking up in these times, which represents the elect in these times, because the majority of our nation is going to reject this. Hosea 4:6, goes into how they're going to reject this knowledge, and the Lord is going to reject them, man. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee and thy seed. You be no priest to me, roughly paraphrasing. So reading on, it says, verse 6, it says, so the bones were going to live again. This was a prophecy. And that's happening right now. We're in the midst of this prophecy as we speak. Ezekiel 37:6, and I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring upon flesh upon you, or bring up, Salakia, bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thy power, or Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Salakia. So the sinews and the flesh and the skin, and everything coming upon us is us getting our nationality back, us realizing who we are again, us coming back to our heritage, so to speak, as Israelites, you know what I'm saying? Us realizing who our power is again, realizing who our enemies again. This is what all that represents, and it says, and ye shall live, Salakia, and put breath in you, which is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures. And ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Again, this is the prophecy, which is happening right before these people's eyes right now, to this very day. Verse 7, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. So that's the nation coming back together as a nation. you know. But it says, and when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. So Jake started coming together before the actual knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Before they received the knowledge, you had different little factions, back, with the so-called blacks and the so-called browns, the Native Americans, the Negroes, the Latinos, certain little factions where they would come together, and try to do things together, trying to basically stand, you know what I'm saying? And but that wasn't it, man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't time. That wasn't it. So those things didn't work, man. So it says, no breath in them. So they hadn't got the knowledge yet. So verse 9, going into the point. Man, my phone is tripping, man. Ezekiel 37 and verse 9, it says, then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So the four winds is from the north, south, east, and west, man. You know what I'm saying? All four corners of the globe, that wind, the prophesying, the knowledge going out, man. And of course, the internet, played a major part in that. You know what I'm saying? Getting this word all throughout the four corners of the earth, man. The World Wide Web. You know what I'm saying? And what does a web do? For a spider, it traps prey. So yeah, the elect is being trapped in this web, which, hey, I'm glad I was trapped in it. You know what I'm saying? But the web is sending out. And if you look at a diagram of like how the web works, and those signals are sent out, you'll see it, man. It's a trip, man. But that's what it's going into, how the word was being prophesied and going throughout the four corners of the earth and waking the elect of the nation of Israel, which represents the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negro descent, up in all those places we were scattered, man. And it says, which are those slain, you know what I'm saying? Because this devil has been putting us to death left and right, man. We were dead because we were in that dead state of not having understanding. Proverbs 21 and 16, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding remaineth in the congregation of the dead, man. You know what I'm saying? So we were those slain, man, with being without the knowledge. But the prophesying started, you know what I'm saying? The internet, we got on the internet, that's when it really took off, in I believe it's 07 or 08, when the men of the great millstone, beginning to start with Apostle Tahar, went out and they got on the internet, man. You know what I'm saying? And this thing started going out all throughout the four corners, man. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you had the other groups out there doing, some groups traveling to different countries and places, which Great Millstone didn't have to do that. The apostles and elders didn't have to get on those ships or no ships, Salakia. They did that back in the day, on any planes or travel to go and make this thing. Nah, man, just the internet, man, and Great Millstone is throughout the four corners of the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the slain, the breath coming upon them and the slain living, man. Verse 10, it says, so I prophesied and he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. And that's what these people are viewing and seeing right now before their eyes. And they pass by and they talk and scoff and talk shit and, try to down these men, you know what I'm saying, which they don't understand what they're doing to market themselves. But this right here, this prophecy, this vision is that Ezekiel was speaking on. It's happening right before these people's eyes. It's the prophesying is happening as they were commanded, and that breath came into them. That's each individual member of the elect waking up in these latter days, man. And coming into this thing, And it says, and they lived, because that's what living is, man. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding represents life. You know what I'm saying? This knowledge is life. and they stood upon their feet an exceeding great army. And that's the fear, which we'll get that in Revelations 11. First, I want to get this real quick. In John 6 and 63. This is John chapter 6 and verse 63. And it reads, "It is the spirit that quickeneth, and to be quickened means to be made alive, to make alive. The flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life." There it is. So the words represent life, so receiving the knowledge, the truth of the scriptures represents being alive, represents life, man. The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the commandments, and that's red letters. Yahushua spoke these words, man. You know what I'm saying? So real quick, let's go to Revelation, the 11th chapter, because they stood on their feet, an exceeding great army. This Revelations 11 and 11. "And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them." So they stood upon their feet. That's that great, exceeding great army, man, that's standing upon their feet. Those that were once slain, that received that breath, and now they're standing upon their feet and they're prophesying, and they're prophesying against this place, man. What's that? Jeremiah 28 and 28. "And this kingdom is falling, man." I'm saying? 28 and 8. Salakia. I think I said 28 and 28. 28 and 8. And it says, but it says after 3 days and a half, which represents 350 years, man, the spirit of life, which is this knowledge from the Most High, entered into them, man. That's what we just read in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, man. Can these bones live? Yeah, they're living, man. You see the remnant returning in these times. "And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them that saw." So that's dealing with these Edomites, beginning and starting with the elites, man. The elites, man, those banking families, or the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, DuPonts, Gaddys, Oppenheimers, Wahlburgers, all of those banking families, man. They see this, man. They see what's going on, man, and they know, and that's why they're about to come down having great wrath, because they know that they have but a short time, man. They know the prophecies, man, and they know the prophecy, this prophecy right here taking place is Revelations 11 and 11, Ezekiel 37. All of these things represent their end, man. You know what I'm saying? And they know what that end encompasses, man. Captivity, hardcore slavery. They're about to get it, man. Everything that they did, because scripture speak about that double in Revelations, the 18th chapter in verse 6. That they're gonna receive double what of the cup that they put out, man. They're gonna receive that back upon their own head, man. You know what I'm saying? So these devils are done, man. So they know what this represents, man. It represents their end. So let's get one more. Let's go to back to Revelations 12 again. And we're going to jump down to verse 10 this time. And it reads, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength." So we're at the, scripture say in Romans, the 13th chapter, is high time to wake up out of sleep, because our salvation is nearer than when we believed, man. You know what I'm saying? So salvation is at hand, man. You know what I'm saying? "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength." That's the kingdom of heaven, man. It's at hand, and strength. It reminds me of Zechariah, the 12th chapter in verse 8, man. That the feeble of our nation is going to be as King David, man, as David, and the elect is going to be as the Most High himself and the angel of the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? Pure might and power, man. That's what salvation is going to bring to the nation of Israel, man. So, and these devils know that, man. Spiritual powers, glorified bodies, righteousness, it's all coming, man, and much, much more, man. So it says, and I heard, Revelations 12 and 10, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed," which the kingdom of heaven, in joint heir, Romans the 8th chapter and verse 17, Revelation the 2nd chapter, verse 25 on down, going into that joint heir with our big brother Yahushua, which he received of his father in Psalms the 2nd chapter, the kingdom of heaven, the uttermost part of the earth, and these heathen for his inheritance, man. You know what I'm saying? These people, these devils know that, man. So they're afraid, man. So it says, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down. There it is. This devil is about to be cast down like lightning, as the scriptures say, man. Fast as hell. And he's been taken out of that throne fast. You can see it. Hey, the days are shortened. Things are moving fast. You know, the Lord is getting this dude, ushering this dude on out, man. You know what I'm saying? And he has a bounds that he can't pass, you know, pursuant to what's that, Job 14:5, I believe it is. That bounds that he can't pass. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's Job 14:5. You know, he has a bound set that he can't pass, man. And the Lord is ushering this dude on out. He's hurrying it up to get this dude on out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? And they know it, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why these devils are in fear, man. You know, and they're moving hastily to try to accomplish their NWO, man. So, and it says the accuser of our brethren is cast down. Who are the accuser of our brethren, man? Esau, these Edomites, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, man. You know what I'm saying? They go to the Lord day in, day out, you know, constantly trying to talk shit on Jake, man. You know, these are your people. Look at them, Lord. You know, they sagging and everything this devil set up, the traps for him, Jake to fall into. Then he'll go back and tell the Lord to look. You know, they eating pork, Lord. Well, that's because you put beef, sausage on the package, but then you put it in a pork casing, man. You know what I'm saying? Which it goes into that, what is that, about the putting a bottle to his lips. I can't remember exactly where it is. I might try to find it. Let me finish this out real quick. But it says, I'll read again, Revelations 12:10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. And that's exactly what they did. Let me see what that scripture is. And they're going to pay for that. Let me see if I can find it. I can't remember exactly where it is. Nah. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Salakia. There it is, Habakkuk. This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken, also that thou may look on their nakedness. Yeah, look, Lord, you know, put beef sausage on the package, you know, like it's lawful for those that are, you know, that may have a little bit of knowledge. But then he'll put it in a pork casing and then tell the Lord, look, Lord, look at what your people are doing. You know, well, that's putting that bottle to his mouth and causing Jake to go off them snares and traps that's being set up, you know, and you know, to show their nakedness, man, that the setup. So he's going to pay for that. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him and makest him drunken, also that thou mayest look upon their nakedness. That's boom. Yeah. You know, making Jake go off by the traps and snares and then pointing at him and saying, look, Lord, which you set a trap for him to do that in the first place. It says woe, which means destruction, man. So destruction is coming to these people for those things. But the point of the lesson is that fear, this truth is bringing fear upon Esau, man, you know, which it should, rightfully so, man, because we're in the times of this devil's demise, man. We're at the end of his world and the beginning of Jacob's, man. And they know that, and they know what that represents, slavery and captivity for them and nothing good, man. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna want that mercy pursuant to Luke, the 16th chapter, you know, with the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, man. You know what I'm saying? Which they're not going to receive. What's that? James 2 and 13. You know, he's going to receive no mercy that showed no mercy. So these devils are through, man. You know what I'm saying? And they're scared, and they should be. So with that, you know, hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect. With that, giving all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath, Shah, Dawadat, Shalom.